I have to go through a few things here. When we slow down the process in the courts, what happens is, in the long run, we wind up stepping over $1 to pick up a dime. And there are certain things, you know, there's an old saying, justice delayed is justice denied. And some of my problem is they've cut you on different areas, or they've encouraged you to cut back. So in Suffolk County court officers, for instance, right now it's a dangerous condition, and because there's not enough court officers. And the court officers are responsible to, number one, bring the prisoners
Exactly right.
up, or if somebody goes in custody, to bring the prisoner down to the cells. And what's happening is the shortage of court officers, I don't know if you've heard of this, shortage of court officers has actually, they closed the courtroom.
Yes.
And so the judge is not hearing any cases. And we're just, I mean, kicking the can down the road in a lot of cases. So that has a disparate impact on your budget also. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, what I would agree with is that we definitely have a dire need for more court officers. I do agree with you and court staff to keep those courtrooms open. And as you rightfully pointed out, there are many, many other, many other trickle-down effects of not having enough court officers. You know, from security of walking in the door or long lines out the front door of courthouses, to the transport of prisoners, to making sure that our courtrooms are fully staffed.
Right. And then the other measure that we've put in place because of the constraints on your budget was we're putting in, instead of stenographers, we have audio tapes going in the courtroom, which take forever to get the transcripts to move the case forward again.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's affecting your budget also. Would you agree with that?
Well, I'm really sorry. I did have a hard time hearing you, but if you're talking about court reporters,
right.
There is no doubt that court reporters are our preferred means of transcription. You know, that we would like to have more court reporters, and there is no doubt that our budgets have not allowed us to fill court reporter positions that we would like to fill. This budget, being a non-attrition budget, would allow us to fill a limited amount of positions, all positions. And when I say limited, and the reason I say it, because I want to be straightforward with you and honest with you at all times, is that it's not a wish budget. It's not going to solve all our ills in one day. I call it a road to recovery budget because it is the start of what I believe that we have to build upon. But yes, we need more court reporters, and as far as I am concerned, they are the preferred means of transcription.
Okay. Now, I'm limited to 7, but your answer isn't, so I'm going to ask you 2 questions quick for you to address.
Okay.
The number one, the trials, Suffolk County, we started the trials actually start at 2:30 a lot of times. And then we're ending at 4:30.
I agree with you. Different counties operate different ways. No doubt.
So 2 hours, we're getting 1 witness. We're adjourning, coming back for another witness. So I want to know, that has a detrimental impact. The other thing that we have right now, too, is Sagamore Children's Hospital.
Yes.
I mean, we're proposing closing that, and that's another thing. So even if we give you this raise, right, that you're asking for, which I believe we should, you're going to take it away by closing Sagamore, because right now, I believe Sagamore has 184 kids that are getting treatment there, and half of that, 92 children from the courts, that are remanded from the courts that need psychiatric help. And what they're proposing is sending them to the Bronx, and that's 184 beds that children in the city are going to lose. And we're going to have to pay for the transportation costs. And it's going to slow down our process, too. If I'm not mistaken, the probation officers are the ones that transport. So the extra cost for you is you're going to have to cut off more probation officers who aren't going to be available to work in the courts, which is going to delay, again, different areas of of litigation when it comes to family court or even criminal court. So can you comment on what would happen if we close Sagamore?
Sure.
And how it would affect your budget, or
Sure.
it would eat up the raises that you
Let
have?
let me answer both your questions. With regard to your first question, with regard to trials in Suffolk County, I'd be happy to speak to our administrative judge from Suffolk County who is here with regard to that question. But I know, and I can tell from how strongly you feel about Sagamore, that how important that issue to you. Number one, I would like to state that you know, and I know you know this, that Sagamore is not part of our budget, okay? But number two, I also think you know this, that being a Suffolk County resident myself and being the former administrative judge of Suffolk County, I have worked closely with the supervising judge of the family court in Suffolk County, Dave Freundlich, and I have visited Sagamore on a number of occasions. It provides a great service to the family courts of Suffolk County. There is no doubt about that. And again, I know you know this, but we do not employ the probation officers, but I am a believer that we are all in this together. So I am sensitive to the fact that probation officers would have additional burdens. And I believe that Sagamore is very important to the welfare of the children who appear in the family court. That has been substantiated to me by the employees of the family court, as well as my firsthand observations. It's my further understanding that there is a bill pending, and you would know better than I would on this score, that where that bill is going to save Sagamore. And I understand from our discussions, and I thank you for your candor, that a number of members, family members, have been helped by Sagamore, and I'm not surprised because they have done some wonderful work helping the children in Suffolk County get on the right road. And it also, as a resident of Suffolk County and someone who has family and friends who they love and care about very deeply, to see them transported to locations hundreds and hundreds of miles away when they are in crisis and in need of assistance, it bothers me as well. So I thank you for taking on that cause, and I agree with you with regard to Sagamore. And I hope that it does stay open.